preview.
Cabins for rent in Nightfall.
Oh, hell.
Carl Stuckey. Vecchio. Non-refundable reservation deposit required.
A candy-colored clown.
Alan Wake sure knows how to make other authors look like chumps. After spending his life behind a typewriter composing best-selling novels, the star of this horror game is not afraid to get his hands dirty when unholy creatures of the night break free from his latest work in progress. This atmospheric adventure sucks you into this nighttime world with eerie visuals and a moody soundtrack, and it feels so good to turn your aggression against those evil beasts and make short work of them with your trusty flashlight and firearm of choice. There aren't quite enough surprises to really scare you or make you creep towards the edge of your seat, but the combat setting and story make this game a real page-turner.
Alan? Alan?
Wait, just don't!
Alan Wake has a pretty big problem. Every time he steps outside at night, demons start to attack him. Even worse, all these terrible events going on all around him appear to be caused by something that he wrote.
How does it feel to die by the hands of your own creation?
His novel has literally come to life, and he has to find a way to fight back against these vile beings he's created and rescue his wife from their evil clutches. The story isn't particularly novel for anyone who has experience in the horror genre, but the way in which it is told is quite impressive.
My head pounded with a concussion. I'd never fired a gun outside a shooting range, and now I just killed someone.
Alan Wake narrates these supernatural events as they occur, but because he's just as confused as the player, his answers are rough guesses at best and show just how scared he is at these unexplainable activities. Even more interesting is the bits and pieces you can scrap together by venturing off the beaten path. Optional collectibles fill in the backstory, but you need to rummage around in the terrifying woods to discover them. Even though you put yourself in grave danger, it's well worth the effort. Missing manuscript pages frequently foreshadow future events, and it's fascinating to read about some awful act that's going to happen around the bend, and then force yourself to walk down that path even though you know there's something terrifying on the other side. Abandoned radios and television sets provide their own chunks of the plot.
Fresh air, and what a night.
The host of the late night radio show fills you in on what's happening in the town at large, and it's really interesting listening to the DJ's voice and mood change as the story progresses. The television show is even cooler. This is based on The Twilight Zone, with all the twists and moral lessons the classic series is known for. Of course, there's a lot more to this adventure than the fascinating story. The combat is not only unique, but it's darn fun as well. You hold a flashlight in your hand at all times and use this to weaken the demons who attack you. These beasts of the night are only safe when bathed in darkness, but you can kill that evil inside of them by shining your beam on them for just a few seconds. Once stunned, a few quick blasts from your gun is enough to finish them off. This mechanic leads to thrilling situations, especially when you find yourself grossly outnumbered. Having to balance your flashlight's aim between multiple foes is tense and terrifying, especially when one sneaks up behind you out of the blue. Luckily, you can duck away from an imminent attack with a quick button tap. This initiates a slow motion dodge that's not only really helpful, but looks stylish as well. Wandering around in the haunted woods may not be good for your health, but you will need to spray into the forest if you want to succeed. Invaluable weapon caches lie in cabins and caves deep within the forest, and it's in your best interest to nab all the extra guns. Shotguns and hunting rifles provide powerful short-range attacks, and flammable weapons melt nearby attackers in a hurry. Fire a flare into a gang of ghoulies and watch them vanish in a burst of light. There are light puzzles to solve, as well as a few quick-time events that make sure you feel the breath of imminent death. Trying to start up a generator when a demon is rushing towards you leads to some frantic moments where you just hope you can get that light turned down before you meet your bitter end. Although the combat and story are fascinating all the way through this thrilling adventure, Alan Wake does lack the type of memorable moments that stay with you long after you turn off the game. The game often feels too safe and predictable, rarely offering a shocking, unexpected moment to really shake you. Because every other element is so strong, it's not a huge problem that the game doesn't offer many surprises, but it's still a drag that these events aren't powerful enough to keep you unhinged all the way through. Thankfully, the environments look spectacular. The dimly lit forest is blanketed by a heavy cover of fog, adding to the suffocating atmosphere. Even with a flashlight in your hand, The feeble light that emits from it is never enough to make you feel safe from the evil circling all around you. And the music adds even more to the tense feeling permeating this game. Using both a subtle score that will raise your neck during exhilarating combat sequences, as well as moody licensed music during unexpected moments, the music does a great job of keeping you sucked into this world.
It's rabbit season.
All the separate pieces in Alan Wake are really well done. The story is fantastic, offering up enough twists that it's difficult to predict where things are going to wind up. The storytelling is even more interesting, combining narration with optional bits and pieces to really flesh out these supernatural events. Shooting these evil beings of the night is tense and exciting, making you combine your flashlight and gun in thrilling fights to the death. And the environments look and sound so incredible that it's easy to get sucked right in to this bleak world. If there are more surprising, memorable moments, this could have been something truly special, but it's still great, exciting, and incredibly difficult to put down.